So Monday night we did the Lama Tripa Puja, and there was one verse in it that I particularly have liked over the years, and I found a clip on YouTube of His Holiness talking about that verse, and he started to weep. Well, actually, just before he brought up the verse. So he was talking about bodhicitta and our fortune in being able to hear teachings on bodhicitta and his fortune in being able to teach it. And then he brought up this verse from Lama Chopa, which I'll read for you. It says, "You are my gurus, you are my yidams, you are my dakinis and dharma protectors. From now until awakening, I seek no refuge other than you. In this life, the bardo, and all future lives, hold me with your hook of compassion. Free me from samsara and nirvana spheres. Grant all attainments. Be my constant friends and guard me from hindrances." And so usually when we recite this verse, we're thinking of the gurus, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the Dakas, Dakinis, Dharma protectors, all the Arhats, the various holy beings, okay? What His Holiness did is, after speaking about the fortune of teaching and hearing about bodhicitta, which was when he wept, then he talked about, actually, this verse is directed towards bodhicitta, okay? Because I seek no refuge other than you. When we have bodhicitta, everything's there. We don't need anything else, you know, because bodhicitta encompasses, in one way or another, the entire path, okay? In this life, the bardo, and all future lives, yeah. So bodhicitta will be something beneficial to us in this life. Because when we act with a kind heart, with bodhicitta, with the wish for all beings to become awakened and wanting to become awakened ourselves to accomplish that, then things go much better for us in this life. Now, at the time we die, then there's no fear. Yeah, if you meditate on bodhicitta at the time of death, no fear, no anxiety or anything, no worry. And then bodhicitta will carry us through the bardo into a good future life, because with bodhicitta in this life we create the causes for a good future life, and having bodhicitta at the time of death makes those karmic causes ripen to bring about that rebirth. Okay, hold me with your hook of compassion. So when bodhicitta holds us, you know, we are held with the Buddha's hook of compassion, and we become close to the Buddha when we have bodhicitta, because when we're meditating on that mind, our mind is approaching the Buddha's realizations. Yeah? So we become quite close. Free me from samsara and nirvana spheres. So bodhicitta can free us from samsara spheres, in other words, constantly recurring rebirth under the control of ignorance, because with bodhicitta we are then motivated to realize the empty nature of self and phenomena, and that wisdom consciousness will liberate us from samsara. It also, bodhicitta also frees us from the fear of nirvana. And here, the fear of nirvana is referring to an arhat's nirvana. In other words, attaining liberation for oneself alone instead of attaining full awakening for the benefit of all beings. And so there's fear or danger of falling into that personal peace when you're somebody who values the benefit and welfare of all beings. So bodhicitta is what protects us from that and pulls us out of personal peace and engages us in the bodhisattva path to full awakening. Be my constant friend. So, you know, when we feel lonely, bodhicitta can be our friend. When we're depressed, bodhicitta comforts us. Yeah? When we're angry, bodhicitta soothes us. When we're full of greed and desire, bodhicitta calms us. Yeah. When we're jealous, bodhicitta, shows us another way to look at things. So bodhicitta is our real friend that won't betray us. Ordinary friends, they're good friends sometimes, and other times, things get kind of messy and sticky. But bodhicitta, when it's in our mind, is always a good friend to us. And guard me from hindrances. So again, when we have bodhicitta and we act, influence like that, then, we don't create the karma to have hindrances. And also, any karma we may have from the past to receive hindrances that karma gets interfered with, okay? Because you can see when you have a kind heart, then people may have wanted to harm you, but they don't. They change their mind. Yeah. And His Holiness, when he's teaching this, he said, I look for enemies, but I don't see any. Yeah? I can't find any. Of course, the whole, Chinese government is swearing at him. And within the Tibetan community too, people do all sorts of things. But from His Holiness's point of view, he doesn't even see these as hindrances. Okay? So I was very touched the way he explained that verse, not in terms of the external three jewels who were, trying to connect with, but in terms of our own potential for bodhicitta and whatever love and compassion and equanimity and so forth we have now, to connect with those and make those grow. And then, then bodhicitta becomes our guru. Yeah, it becomes our guru, our yidams, our dakinis and dharma protectors. It becomes all the Buddhas and bodhisattvas to us, because bodhicitta teaches us, our own bodhicitta teaches us, leads us on the path. Yeah. So, important at the beginning of all your sessions to generate this mind, and then to dedicate at the end of your sessions to actualize it.